everyone! Welcome to Long Success. Today I will be teaching you how to answer the 7 most common questions that is being asked in an interview. Since these questions are very common, the manager or the hiring employer is expecting you to answer them smoothly and with confidence and with no hesitation. These 7 questions are: tell me about yourself, tell me about your work experience, how did you handle challenges, how did you handle stress or pressure, what is your greatest strength, what is your greatest weakness, and why should they hire you? So, I'll teach you the first question. They tell me about yourself. The interviewer wants to know why you are excellent fit for the job. Try to answer questions about yourself without giving too much or too little personal information. You can start by sharing your personal interests, experiences that don't relate directly to your work. Share some fun facts and showcase your personality to make the interview more interesting. Example is this video.
When I'm not working, I love to spend time with my dogs. I find that people, they're generally drawn to dogs, and I love having conversations with all those who I met. Communication is actually how I've probably been most successful, and the part as well in business. I find that learning to guide a conversation is one of the most important things you can do in a business role.
Next is, tell me about your work experience. This is an important question because it will determine if you really have the qualification or the ability to do the job because of your past experiences in work. The interviewer wants to know, how do you handle challenges, stress, or how do you make proper decisions by those experiences? State your different workplace and the jobs you have done so far, and that will help you to encourage your employer to hire you for that job. For example is this.
I understand customer services is a big part at this marketing position. In my last position, in a high-volume call center, I spent 3 years providing solutions to customers over the phone.
Next question is, what is your greatest strength? This is one of the most common questions that the employers almost always ask to determine how well you are qualified for the position. When you are asked about your strengths, it is important to discuss the attributes that qualify you for the specific job, and that will set you apart from other candidates. For example is this.
As a cybersecurity specialist, my greatest strength is my intellectual curiosity. I enjoy researching the latest technology trends so that our critical information technology system remain uncompromised. Not only do I do this by reading the latest issue of Cybersecurity Journalist, I also convince my employer to fund my participation in quarterly information technology conferences. This has allowed me to build a network of peer resources, many of whom are leaders in the field, that I can call upon for strategies when new threats arise for our system.
Next is, what is your greatest weakness? So, this also is one of the most common questions. Do your best to frame your answers around positive aspects of your skills and abilities as an employee, turning seeming weakness into strength. Share examples of skills you have improved, providing specific instances of how you have recognized a weakness and take steps to correct it. Example is this.
My greatest weakness used to be procrastination. Friends who knew my work style would tease me, saying panic precipitates performance. In college, I was the person who pulled all-nighters to finish their essay right before the deadline. This isn't as irresponsible as it sounds. From the moment I'm assigned a project, I'm thinking about it. Most of my first and second draft get composed mentally, so it's only a matter of writing down the final draft. And since I have an excellent command of grammar, I don't have to spend much time proofreading or revising. However, after I landed my first job as a content writer, it became clear to me that while this process worked for me, even though I've never missed a deadline, it made my editor extremely nervous. And so I've learned to set early deadlines for myself, at least 24 hours before the actual deadline, so that my project now always arrives with plenty of time to spare.
Next is, how do you handle stress and pressure? What do you do when things don't go smoothly at work? How do you deal with different situations? Avoid claiming that you never or rarely experience stress. Rather, formulate your answer in a way that acknowledges stress and explains how you have overcome it or even used it as an advantage. For example, is this.
I'm not someone who is energized by or thrives in stressful environments. My first step in managing stress is to try to circumvent it by keeping my work processes very organized and my attitude professional. When customers or associates come to me with this issue, I try to look at things from their perspective and initiate a collaborative problem-solving approach to keep the situation from escalating. I find that maintaining an efficient, congenial office with open lines of communication automatically reduces a lot of workplace stress. Of course, sometimes unanticipated stressors will arise. When this happens, I just take a deep breath, remembering the person I'm dealing with is frustrated with the situation, not with me. I then actively listen to their concerns and make a plan to resolve the issue as quickly as possible.
Next is, how did you handle a challenge? The interviewer wants to know how you respond when you are facing a difficult decision. As the question is about challenges, be prepared to share an example. It is important to share details to make the story believable and engaging. For example, is this.
One of the biggest challenges I face is negotiating a payment scheduling with one of our vendors during a financially difficult time for our company. And instead of revising the payment plan, we just offer some of our services in barter. And that really helped me to learn how to think outside of the box and learn how important relationship with our company vendor really is.
Next is, why should we hire you? What they want to know is that, are you the best candidate for the job? The hiring manager wants to know whether you have all the required qualifications. Be prepared to explain why you are the applicant who should be hired. Make your response a confident, concise, focused sales speech that explains what you have to offer and why you should get the job. For example, this.
I believe my experience aligns well with what your company is looking for, as I'm skilled in communicating across platforms and with different types of people. For example, when I was the administrative assistant for college chemistry department or department organized a national conference, I was the point person for all of the conference participants and attendees.
So, by this video tutorial, I hope your job interview will go smoothly and very successful. Now that you know how to answer those 7 common questions being asked typically in a job interview, well, good luck. For your job interview will determine whether you will be hired or not. That is all. God bless for your job interview. And this is the long success.